Thank you all for coming out today.
I'll just take this.
And welcome to our new home. Like I said a little bit earlier, thank you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Justin Slageter, BE 911, or Beta Epsilon 911. That number means I'm the 911th person to be initiated into the Beta Epsilon chapter of the Theta Xi fraternity. We have a lot of older and younger guys here, and I'm really looking forward to meeting them and also introducing them. So I'm the president of the Beta Epsilon Association of Theta Xi, which is the corporation that owns and manages the chapter facility which we're gathered at today. It's also the advisory group to the undergraduate members of the chapter. Some are here. I think some are back there. A corporation that I'm proud to say I've served on for the past 17 years as an alumni member. Thank you. I'm also president of the Beta Epsilon Scholarship Fund, which has been providing scholarship awards to our active members since fall of '97. First and foremost, a big thank you goes out to my fellow alumni board members, which include Bob Testa, Jack Betancourt, where are you, Jack? Phil Santucci, John Osborne, Steve Johansson, Dave Fitzharris, David Panconi, our chapter advisor Craig Whitten, our current chapter president Jake Ryder, and our current chapter treasurer Jack Connolly. Please stand up or throw your hands in the air and be recognized. Also, a big thank you goes out to a former alumni board member who has contributed a vast majority of his spare time and energy into this project, Skip Metzger. Skip, where are you? Oh, there you are. Thank you. A giant thank you goes out to my family who's here today. Includes my beautiful wife, Susan, our two amazing kids, Evan and Zenna, and my lovely mother, Wendy. I'm pleased to say we have our executive director from the National Fraternity Headquarters, Tanner Marcantel, Alpha Alpha 1675, in attendance today. Thank you for coming all the way from Atlanta, from hot Atlanta to hot Davis. I'm also honored that we have our oldest alumnus in attendance, Wes Hackett, BE 7. Thank you, Brother Hackett, for attending our festivities today, and thank you for your generous donations over the years to further continue the excellence of this chapter. We've got other brothers from the first 100 BEs in our midst as well. And thank you all for coming out to see the new chapter home. And of course, a big thank you goes out to our alumni donors for making this possibility a reality. And thank you for your collective generosity. I was told to keep this short, so without further ado, I introduce my fellow alumni board member, our chief project coordinator, and the mastermind behind this beautiful piece of real estate, BE 161, Bob Testa.
Justin. I ask that you indulge me for a few moments to provide our members an opportunity to stimulate their own memories of having joined this fraternity, and so that our non-member friends and families can gain some insight as to who we are and what we represent. Founded as a colony in 1950, we became the Beta Epsilon chapter of Theta Xi in 1952. We are now in our 73rd year on the Davis campus. Theta Xi, as a national organization, is in its 159th year. In 1952, we were one of 8 social fraternities among about 1,100 undergraduate students on a campus known as the University Farm, an affiliate of UC Berkeley. There were no sororities, few restaurants, and no street lights in this town of less than 9,000 people. Today, only 4 of those original fraternities remain among the 40-plus social, professional, and cultural-based fraternity and sorority organizations at UC Davis. About 10% of the school's 44,000 undergraduate students are affiliated with a Greek organization, a percentage that surprisingly has not varied much over the years. I had the personal honor of being the 161st initiate of this chapter and in the first graduating class of UC Davis's College of Engineering. And for the last 8 years, believe it or not, it has been an honor for me to have been the shepherd who has guided our efforts to build this new house for our youngest members, as others step forward to do similar things for those of us who came before. And I've been assisted in this role by Skip Metzger, Justin Slageter, Dave Fitzharris, Jack Scroggs, and many other alumni brothers who responded as we all should and do when brothers need help. I thank them all. There are many here today who gave their hard-earned money and valuable time and continue to do so, and many others who wanted to be here but couldn't for a variety of reasons. Please raise your hand if you are among those who helped. Congratulate yourselves on a job well done. We are forever grateful for your support. Our undergraduate members operate as a self-governing entity. They are guided by a chapter advisor and mentored by alumni that comprise the nonprofit corporation that owns the property, as Justin mentioned. Membership is open to all male students at Davis who have not accepted membership to another fraternity, without regard to any particular personal characteristic. Discrimination is not tolerated. The dignity of all human beings is respected. Certain academic standards and standards of conduct are available to assist those with financial needs. Certain academic standards and standards of conduct are required for initiation into the fraternity, and we have graduate and undergraduate scholarships available to assist those with financial needs and to recognize accomplishments. Our chapter advisor, Craig Whitten, was initiated as a member of Theta Xi while he was an undergraduate at UCLA. His role as a chapter advisor to our younger members is to help rather than criticize, guide rather than direct, and encourage rather than dictate. Our alumni members act as mentors to their undergraduate brothers, guided by the same goals. Craig has been recognized by both our national fraternity and last quarter by UC Davis as being among the best at what he does. We are fortunate that he chose to become a part of this chapter long after his graduation from UCLA. Thank you, Craig. We enter the fraternity as naive, rambunctious, hopeful, diverse young men from divergent backgrounds and cultures. And we leave our undergraduate days as learned, mature, informed leaders ready to contribute to the communities in which we will live. And the relationships developed here last a lifetime. At least, that is the hope. I like to think of us as a family of men of diverse backgrounds, religions, beliefs, and values, spanning eras and geographic locations, built around lifelong commitments and shared beliefs that we will treat one another as if we were siblings. We dwell in harmony despite our individual shortcomings. We become best men at each other's weddings, godfathers to each other's children, and eventually we eulogize each other. Over the last 72 years, we have initiated over 1,100 members into the fraternity. More men than there were undergraduate students on campus when this chapter of the fraternity was founded. On 28 occasions during its 72-year history, this chapter has been recognized as the most outstanding chapter in the National Fraternity Organization. There have been many other awards over the years, many teachable moments, and some painful lessons learned too. Theta Xi's purpose is to provide a college home environment for its active members in which fellowship and alumni guidance leads to wholesome mental, moral, physical, and spiritual growth. And this new house behind me is a direct result of alumni efforts to fulfill that purpose. For us, it is a purpose that does not end with our graduation from UC Davis. The leadership and other skills our members will learn in this house, as my brothers and I learned in the previous houses that occupied this site, will benefit the communities in which they will live and work well into the future. Our connection to UC Davis and this fraternity are the common bonds that guide us. We called the original fraternity house the TX House. It still stands behind you as the 100-year-old new house of another fraternity. The two demolished adjacent houses that occupied this site were known as Bryson and Jackson. Before you stands TX House 2. Its second floor is to be known as Bryson Manor in honor of the fraternity's longtime first cook, Lori Bryson, or Cookie as we called her. Its third floor is Jackson Manor in honor of UCD's Professor W. Turrentine Jackson, who served as the fraternity's chapter advisor for only 47 plus years. Each of the rooms all have special names. The bike barn around the corner, for example, is known as the Swine Shack, but it has nothing to do with wine. It honors our late brother, Mike Sourwine. In just a few moments, you'll be able to see why we are so pleased with what has emerged. It takes leadership to make things happen, and we are fortunate to have an alumni base full of leaders formed in Theta Xi who continue to serve this fraternity and this university in a variety of ways. Of course, this house would not have happened without the efforts of our architect, Bob Lindley. Bob is here somewhere. Our contractors, Colin Monley, Jimmy Hamlin, and Jason Johnson, they're here. And our bankers at First Northern Bank. And a whole host of supporting players. And of course, the approval of the City of Davis and its residents, to whom we have paid a humongous sum in permit fees. Humongous. Thank you all. This academic quarter marks the beginning of a new chapter for this storied chapter of Theta Xi. Thank you all for being here and joining in the celebration and joy we feel about the future of Theta Xi at UC Davis. There is another leader in our midst today, and we are pleased to have him with us to assist in cutting the ribbon. Gary May is the 7th Chancellor of UC Davis. He came to Davis in 2017 after a 3-decade career at the Georgia Institute of Technology, where he was Dean of the College of Engineering. Georgia Tech is in Atlanta, where Theta Xi now has its national headquarters. And Tanner Marcantel, Theta Xi's National Executive Director, who's with us today and who you'll hear from shortly, was once a colleague of Chancellor May at Georgia Tech. We're happy to provide a venue for their reunion too. Our Chancellor is a bold, student-focused leader, intent on improving student housing in Davis, among other things. And he is exceptionally good at what he does. Chancellor May, improved student housing is what we have tried to do with this new chapter house for Theta Xi. We are honored by your presence here today. Please join me in giving a warm Theta Xi and UCD welcome to Chancellor Gary May.
Thank you, Bob, for that wonderful introduction. Pleasure to be here with you on this warm October day. Always love to see alumni back on campus for homecoming. I can't imagine how much has changed since some of you were Aggies, undergraduate Aggies, or graduate Aggies, forming lifelong membership and friendships with members at Theta Xi. Our campus looked a little different than it does today, as Bob noted. There was no Manetti Trim Museum, no Mondavi Center for the Performing Arts, or Mondavi Institute for Wine and Food Science, and many other things that are new to our campus since this chapter was founded. After the open house, I hope you have a chance to re-explore your alma mater a little bit with your old friends. Now, isn't this a great day to celebrate the opening of a new home for young men of Theta Xi? Yeah! Commemorate more than 72 years of Theta Xi's influence and contributions to our campus community. Over the course of its history, the local Beta Epsilon chapter has been recognized, as you heard, with the Most Outstanding Chapter Award an astounding 28 times. So Chapter Advisor Craig Witten was also recently recognized by UC Davis for his outstanding efforts to guide and mentor these students. So congratulations to Craig and everyone involved in the success of this chapter and today's success. Congratulations are also in order for Chapter President Jake Ryder and the young Theta Xi members for being the first to be able to occupy this wonderful new facility. In addition to what Bob noted in his remarks, Theta Xi members and alumni have served departments and colleges across our university. Undergraduates have demonstrated leadership on campus, serving in such roles as ASU CD President, Picnic Day Chairman, and Student Regent on the University of California's Board of Regents. Alumni members have returned to serve as tenured professors and held numerous administrative positions here and at other universities. They've also served as faithful members of the UC Davis Chancellor's Club and other donor organizations. Thank you for joining my club. In other words, Theta Xi members are known for giving back. They embody the spirit of public service that is integral to our mission. I know that applies to all of you here today. I thank you for your ongoing dedication to the Theta Xi fraternity and the entire UC Davis community. Today's open house is another example Increasing the supply of student housing has been a priority since I arrived at UC Davis in 2017, as Bob noted. We're making progress, and if you've been over to West Campus, you know we've added significant on-campus housing. And in fact, we've added 6,500 beds or so since I've been Chancellor. The Beta Epsilon chapter house is another big win for us for new and improved student housing. It is a team effort and one that took significant time and effort to complete. So special thanks are due to Board President Justin Slageter and other members of the Board of Directors who've been instrumental in building this new house. And that includes my fellow engineer, Bob Testa, who Justin noted led the effort. I'm also pleased that Tanner Marcantel is here, Theta Zi's National Executive Director. As you heard, like me, he's a former Yellow Jacket from Georgia Tech. Tanner, you might mention to our friends at Georgia Tech when you get back that UC Davis is now ranked higher than Georgia Tech. Before I wrap up, let me just ask you to look around you, and the university experience does not end with graduation, as you all know. And that's evidenced by the alumni gathered here today. Once an Aggie, always an Aggie. And once you're a member of Theta Xi, you always have your brothers. They continue to serve their fraternity, and they continue to serve UC Davis. They work together to build this new home that will serve fraternity members for generations to come. So on behalf of UC Davis, thank you for your ongoing support of your alma mater, of Theta Xi, and all of our UC Davis community. Go Ags!
Our executive director, Tanner Marcantel, has prepared some remarks for this momentous occasion. Brother Marcantel, mic's all yours.
I'll bring that out later. Thank you, Justin, Bob, Chancellor May, great to see you again. Thank you for your kind words. I'm the last speaker before we get to go tour the house, so I'll keep it brief. But as Justin said, I'm Tanner Marcantel, Alpha Alpha 1675, graduate of our chapter at Louisiana State University back in 2001. And I serve the fraternity and the foundation as our 11th executive director. So you've probably known many men who've served in that role, Jim Hall, Jim Vredenberg, etc. I get to follow in their footsteps. But it's my pleasure on behalf of the Grand Lodge that we dedicate this house. And may we start from this day forward, building upon the 159 years of fraternity tradition and the 73 years of deep friendship and brotherhood that has existed here at the Beta Epsilon chapter. May we be directed towards those human goals which are just, rewarding, exciting, and fraternal. And in this new home for the chapter, may we dedicate ourselves to our ancient ideals and commit ourselves to provide for future generations a worthy and honorable Theta Xi fraternity experience that truly will enhance these undergraduate brothers' years at UC Davis. So to the successful fulfillment of these goals and in the spirit of genuine brotherhood, the Grand Lodge now would like to dedicate this house formally to the Beta Epsilon chapter of the Theta Xi fraternity.
Thank you, Brother Marcantel. So right now I'd like to invite Bob Testa, Chancellor May, our Executive Director, Tanner Marcantel, and our undergraduate president, Jake Ryder, up here for the ribbon cutting.
One, two, three.
We need an engineer. I knew those big scissors were suspect. Speaker. It's like that birthday candle.
Hello. I guess we should have tested the scissors first. Lunch is served inside, so make your way on in, and you've got free reign of the facility, the first and second floors. The third floor, we're still doing some finishes, so that's kind of off limits, but please feel free to come on inside. Thank you.